What's up guys, Bolt here bringing you a brand new Fast and Furious car remake. In today's remake, I'm bringing you the 1995 Ferrari F355 Spider from the Fast and the Furious. Now if you guys don't know what this car is from or what scene it's from, you're really missing out on one of the best scenes in the entire movie. I mean, it literally is an amazing scene. This car is a kind of, I guess, a background-ish car. I guess you could also call it a villain car, but it is a really nice-looking car in general. Unfortunately, this is not the Spider version, but this is about the closest thing we can actually get in GTA Online, so there we go. But we're going to start off what we always do, which is the base price. So let's start off with the base price. So we're going to go to the internet. We're going to go to the Travel and Transport website. We're going to go to the Legendary Motorworks website. We're going to go to the two-door section. We're going to go and sort by price. And we're going to go down and we're going to find the Grotti Cheetah Classic, which is part of the gun running DLC. Now, this car is going to be costing you $865,000. Kind of cheap compared to what we're going to be making because there's not really too much customization to this car, but there's a few things you must have, and we're going to go over that right now. So anyways, once you have your car and you have your color, meet us at the Los Santos Car Meet location. Again, I cannot wait to see this thing actually drive around and everything. It actually turned out really nice, and I got the idea from just like one of my favorite scenes. I want to kind of recreate it, but we'll see how things turn out. So let's go and customize the beauty actually. So the Grotti Cheetah Classic is in the sports classic category. It is pretty much self-explanatory. It is a, classic type car. I'm not saying it's a muscle car, but it is a kind of like a supercar, I guess, for the most part, but it is a sports classic type car. So as I go over all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design of the car and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build to add to your own, you're more than welcome to. And without further ado, without wasting any more time, let's get into the build. To start things off, we're going to go to bumpers. You want to go to the front bumper and you want to put in the stock with primary splitter. Now, I say this is the best option because you still have the lights on the bottom there. It also makes the bottom splitter all one color, which is the primary color, which looks really nice and it does fit the build really nicely. And this is my best take for the build. From there, we move on to the rear bumpers. I just kept the stock rear bumper. I didn't see on changing it to the secondary, wasting more money. That just kind of seems irrelevant in my opinion and just kind of redundant, making you spend a little bit more money just to do the secondary. If you want to, you're more than welcome to, because the secondary color is pretty much the same as the primary, but I would just personally stick with the stock. After that, I move on to the exhaust. I went with the carbon tipped exhaust. Now my main reason for this is because it had a chrome tipped exhaust, but unfortunately Rockstar didn't add a chrome tipped exhaust option for this car. So I think the best option after that would be the carbon tipped, since it does have a little bit of a chrome look to it, but it has more of a, you can see the black tips on it from the carbon. But again, I still think the carbon tipped exhaust is still the best option. From there, we move on to the fenders. You want to go with the vented rear fender. Now, the main reason for this is because you have that kind of like piece that's actually in the back fender. You want to get rid of that by actually going with the vented rear fender. It kind of also puts a vent on top, which is not the greatest thing to do, but I mean, it does actually look a little bit better for the car in my personal opinion. If you really wanted to, you could keep it stock. I mean, it is up to personal preference because the body style is not completely like the actual real life car, but it is the closest thing that we can actually get. So take your pick. If you want to do stock, go for it. Or if you want to do the vented rear fender, you're more than welcome to do that too. From there, we move on to the hood. I went with the retro hood with primary paint. Main reason for this is because it has kind of more of like a smooth hood, but it does have some vents on it. Unfortunately, this is like sticking out too much. This is just too viewable. Like, you can't cover these up. The best way you can cover it up is with the retro hood with primary paint. I still think it is the best option. I know it does put some vents on there, but they're kind of blended in with the paint, so you kind of don't really notice it. The car actually in the movie didn't have a vented hood at all. It was a nice smooth hood, somewhat smooth I would say. So yeah, I would just go with the retro primary paint one. That's the one I think works the best. After that, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. Now there's a couple options you can go for. I went with the golden shower lights. 1995, I wouldn't expect the car to have really fancy lights, although it is a really expensive car. You could also stick with the stock lights if you really wanted to, but again, that is your choice. If you want to spend the money and go for the golden shower lights, in my personal opinion, I think they fit a little bit better, but it is all up to you, so make your choice. From there, move on to the neon kits. Neon layout's going to be none. If you want to add the pure black neon, you can, to add a little bit more traction, a little bit of control, but that's up to you. I didn't add it on this one. From there, we move on to the plate. You want to go with a blue and white too, and if you have the option to do custom plates, you can go with the custom plate, which is 4MJI366. Again, that is 4MJI366. If you don't have the option to do that, use your own custom plates if you have any, or you can just keep it the stock one. It doesn't really matter. Most people don't really look at the plates all that much. It's completely up to you if you want to add it or not. Unfortunately, I don't have the option to do so, so I'm just going to go with my classic plate, but again, that is the custom plate you want to go for. And And the blue and white 2 style is the one you want to go for because it is from, the California style. So that is the best option. Same respray for last. We move on to the roof. You want to just keep that roof stock. You don't want it to have a sun strip of any sort. You just want to make sure it's nice and stock. So keep it nice and stock. After that, move on to the skirts. I went with the primary colored ridge skirt. I think this fits the best. It kind of gives that little like kind of skirt design to it. It's kind of hard to explain. It didn't really have much like a body kit to it. It just had, I'm trying to make the actual like car look a little bit better than what it did. So that's why I went with the primary colored ridge skirt. From there, we move on to the spoiler. Now, I went with none, mainly because the car didn't have a spoiler. Unfortunately, it was, like a convertible, so I thought keeping it like this, it kind of looks like the back end could possibly open up and the roof could go into it. Unfortunately, this is not a Spider version of this car, so it does not have that option. But if you want to add a little bit more traction control by adding a spoiler, then the best option I could say is actually adding the classic spoiler. It kind of covers up the engine, so again, it still keeps it all black and everything, but I mean, I still think it does better with none, in my personal opinion. From there, move on to the suspension. I went the sport suspension. It was pretty low. I mean, it doesn't lower it that much, but I mean, it lowers it enough. It lowers it pretty much nowadays like the newer cars lowered suspension. So doing the sport suspension, I think, is the best option for this car. From there, we move on to the turbo. You don't want to add a turbo. It was not actually a turbo-tuned car. It was actually naturally aspirated, and it put out a lot of horsepower without an actual turbo in it. So yeah, I would definitely just go with none. From there, we move on to the wheels. You want to go to wheel type. You want to go down to the track category, and you want to put on the Speed Boy rims. These, I think, fit the best, mainly because I'll show a picture right now of the wheel, actually, when they pull up. They actually have the rivets on there, and it was also a 5-spoked rim. So having the rivets around the outside of the rim, as well as being a 5-spoked, the best option you can go for is a Speed Boy rim, in my personal opinion. From there, we move on to the wheel color. I just kept it alloy is the best option to kind of get like a chrome look to it. If you really wanted to, you could possibly do the frost white, but it's a little bit too much in my opinion. And the stone silver is just too dark. So the alloy is like a kind of mixture between frost white and the stone silver. From there, we move on to the tires. Tire design is going to keep them stock. You don't want to add any custom tires to them because that would just not look right. And the car didn't have custom tires on it. After that, move on to the tire enhancements. I would keep standard tires. It definitely wasn't a drift car. It wasn't drifting in the movie at all. And, I mean, it is GT Online. You can add bulletproof tires if you wish. But, again, more realistic for your collection and to show it off if you don't. Also, you'll save more money, but your choice on what you want to do. From there, move on to the tire smoke. You just want to go with that white tire smoke. I will actually put a picture of the white tire smoke so people don't get confused and all that. So, yeah, there you go. After that, move on to the windows. I thought it had a light smoke at some point, but unfortunately, it was pretty much clear. Like, I mean, it was the roof down and everything, and, it was a Spider version. It was a convertible type car, but I would say just go with none. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. Alright, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car in my primered out rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know what color I'm going to actually do for the build. This time I'm going to go over both colors, an LSC color and a custom crew color. You guys are probably accustomed to this custom crew color by now, so if you do not have it, you do not use it, it's still a great option to use the LSC color, I'm telling you right now. But, I mean, to get the color that is actually on the actual car, which I believe is called like triple black, it is insane to actually use this color. So this is the LSC color here. So you want to go to primary, you want to go to the classics, and you want to go up and equip the black. Now, as you can see, there's a stripe going down the middle. What that is your secondary color. So you want to go down to the secondary color, you want to go to classics, and you want to go up and purchase the classic black. Now, again, this is a great and viable option if you do not have the option to do a custom crew color, or if you don't want to. It does still look great, but I mean, you'll see the difference once I put the pure black on compared to the regular black. So again, the hex code for the pure black will be on screen right now, and also down in the description below will be the hex code and RGB, as I always do in most of my videos, if not all. There you go. So you want to go to primary color for the custom crew color. Right here we go. 3, 2, 1. Watch it change. There it is. You can see the difference between the pure black and the regular black. The regular black has more like a grayish color to it. The pure black, I mean, it's literally black. And that is the best option you can go for, in my personal opinion. But again, classic black is still a really great and viable option. You're probably asking, why don't you do metallic? If you do metallic, you could do that. It'll give a little bit, tiny bit more shine, but you also have to remove the pearlescent by changing it to a black as well. So you'll be spending a little bit more money too. But again, it's your choice on what you want to do. After that, secondary color, again, same thing, custom crew color, boom. Makes it all that nice pure black, and it just looks really great, and it looks really, really close to that triple black that Ferrari has for a lot of their cars. Like, triple black on these cars look amazing. Like, it looks really nice. From there, we move on to the trim color. You just want to go with the graphite. It had a nice black interior. I wouldn't see on changing it or anything. It just really changes like the middle of the seats and like the dash and all that. So yeah, I would just go with like a graphite. Keep it nice and plain and simple. Most of the time, most of my cars are either going to be graphite or black. I mean, that's completely your call. If you want to change it and spend a little more money, do it the black, go for it. But I mean, it rarely, slightly changes it. And that is it. That is how you recreate the 1995 Ferrari 355 Spider from the Fast and Furious. Now again, if you guys don't know what this car is and what it's from, just look up Supra race in the Fast and Furious. Then you'll see. This is the car he pulls up to.
Nice car. What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
They had that race, and it's such a good scene. It's literally one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, and it's that just dominates, like that Supra just dominates. Now in real life, would the Supra win? I honestly don't know. I would say no, because this car costs like probably triple if not quadruple of the actual Supra. So let's go back to our parking spot real quick. Let's head outside. All right, so we're outside. We're going to do a little bit of a spin for you guys. Again, that pure black custom crew color. No pearlescent on it, by the way. No pearlescent at all. The car just looks really nice. I think it turned out great. Again, that pure black really just brings a lot of my builds together. And making custom crew colors is one of my passions. Like, I love doing it. Turning the car into like a beautiful car looks really nice. And it's really nice to do. So let's go for a little bit of a drive. So if you guys are still confused, like, wait, where is this car in the Fast and Furious? This is not driven by any of the main actors or, you know, the main protagonists of the actual movie. This is actually a car that the Supra races in its very first race. You're like, wait, I thought he didn't race anybody. Actually, you're wrong. Once the car gets done, Dom and Brian both set out to kind of test the car out, I guess. They pull up to a stoplight, and a black Ferrari is sitting there with a guy driving it and a girl and a passenger. He asked, nice car, what's the retail on one of those? And then the Ferrari owner says, more than you can afford, pal. Ferrari. And then he revs it. Then Brian kind of revs back, and then Dom says, smoke 'em. Then it plays a really epic song to actually match with all the intense driving that they do and all that. And the Supra literally smokes the Ferrari. Now, would that happen in real life? I don't know, because I believe probably the Ferrari would cost 3, maybe 4 times the amount of the Supra, so it's really hard to tell. Only one that probably know the real truth about that would be Craig Lieberman. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling on. I think I'm going to make this video long enough. I know people probably want shorter videos, so that's what I'm going to try to do for you guys. So, as always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down in the comment section down below for what build you want to see next. I'll definitely get back to you within a couple days or so. I love talking and interacting with you guys. That's the best part of my day, especially for making the videos and all that. There are a few links down in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter, which is down there. You can join the crew, which is free, and you also get the custom crew color, which will be on once this video gets uploaded for about a day, if not longer, if no one requests any other colors. And there's also the Discord down there. You can chat with me, Caden, Cheerful, pretty much anybody in the crew that is actually has on the Discord and all that. So ask questions, chat with me, set up car meets, you know, find people actually on your console and all that fun jazz. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support. And again, I do apologize about the last missed upload last week. So I'm kind of trying to make up for it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'll catch you guys later. I'm out. Peace.